Hi, welcome to the Mother's Day and Father's Day page on our website. We want to first of all say thank you to everyone who made the chair for Mother's Day, the script, the chair, a great success. It was our number one script for the 2012 Mother's Day season, and we appreciate that very, very much. We hope it was a blessing to many audiences. Wanted to take some time here to talk to you about some of the Father's Day sketches. The Godfather is our most recent script. It's comical in ways, and yet declares some very strong messages or truths that protective fathers would want to share with their audience. But it's done it's done very tastefully, even though it's done in a comical way, and yet still declaring some very important facts and things that protective fathers would want to say. The storyline is a teenage young man who wants to date the Godfather's daughter, and in a sort of a interrogation type way, the voice of the Godfather. You never see the Godfather; it's just you're going to hear his voice, which kind of adds to the mystique of the script. One actor, actually, there's three actors. There are two thug-like type, gangster type people that accompany the teenage young man, and they force him down in a center chair, and so all the focus is on him. And at times, the Godfather's voice will say something like, "We're going to really give it to you," things of that nature, which kind of keeps the young man, the teenager, on edge and with kind of fearful of the Godfather and making sure that all the answers are what the Godfather wants to hear when the Godfather begins to interrogate the teenage young man with these questions like, you want to date my daughter? Why? When are you going to bring her home? And things of that nature. And so it's the teenagers, if you will, being put in the spotlight, and the Godfather's voice just bombards them with all these funny questions and even serious questions. I think you'll like it. It'd be great for Father's Day, but also even for a men's retreat or a men's kind of atmosphere would work very well. The breaking point is a dialogue piece for four people: a mother, father, and two teenage children, a boy and girl, male, female. Roles probably 16, 17, right in there. Could be a little younger, maybe a little older, but you get the idea. The father takes the teens on a canoe journey with the youth from church. A lot of things take place. Cattle get into their knapsacks and eat all their cinnamon rolls because the father accidentally set up the tents in a pasture and not at the campsite. Well, a lot of hilarious things take place, and yet some very pointed, fatherly type concerns, bleed through the script. Ends with a really funny one-liner, totally catches the audience totally off guard with a funny hook, if you will, at the end of the play. That's called the breaking point. What a Man Really Wants is a great, funny reader's theater. Three ladies, one man. You'll see a demonstration of what a man really wants, or whatever. That's the complete title of the piece. You'll see it demonstrated at a code conference in California. So it'll give you an idea of what you can do with the Reader's Theater. And remember, the nice thing about a Reader's Theater is you don't have to memorize the script. You have to be really familiar with the script because you're actually reading it. So that makes it nice and more doable, especially if you have a short amount of time. If you did the Reader's Theater, What a Woman Really Wants, or Else, it's that same kind of feel. In fact, this might be sort of the part two, if you will. If you did What a Woman Really Wants for like Mother's Day or a ladies' retreat, this would be a great follow-up. What a Man Really Wants, or whatever. Black and White is a script between a father and a daughter. It takes place in an attic or maybe a part of a garage where the father and the daughter is going through some boxes, and they're coming across some old black and white pictures of grandparents, and then the daughter, who I would say is probably older adolescent, that'd be a good age for this particular piece. She comes across some black and white pictures of her dad. He was wearing fake glasses, talks about the hairdo, talks about pictures, yearbook pictures of people that the father knew. And the crux of the story is this, that even though life changes, there are still some things that remain black and white. And of course, those are the most important things in life. And in this case, our love for God, His love for us, things of that nature. There's a comedy sketch called Born Again. It's a father and son. The little boy's 4 years old. They're at a McDonald's. The wife of the husband has just had a baby, Tiffany, brand new baby girl. And so the husband's taking Jimmy, the 4-year-old Jimmy, to McDonald's to kind of get him away from the hospital for a little bit. And as you can guess, as a lot of 4-year-olds do, they ask a lot of funny questions, serious for them. And so it unfolds in a really comical way. When we do the piece, you can do it however you want to, but a lot of times I'm 56, 57. I'm playing the 4-year-old, so a lot of times I'll have adults play, even sometimes children, because they can. When a 4-year-old might not be able to demonstrate all the comedy and those kinds of nature, kind of young. So I generally have an adult or teenager play Jimmy at 4 years old, and some funny, great one-liners in there that talk about born again. Okay, that's. I know that's very quick. There's one more that I want to talk about here. It's called "When the Hardest Thing to Do is the Right Thing to Do." It's a very serious piece. I've performed the piece many, many times at men's retreats. Not necessarily for Father's Day. I think it's a little too heavy for that. This would be great for a Father's Day retreat. And the subject matter is Uriah, the husband to Bathsheba. If you know the story, when David had his weak moment and he sinned with Bathsheba, King David brought Uriah home, hoping that he would go home and be, with his family, be with his wife, to help cover up what he had done. Well, Uriah did the right thing in as much as he didn't go home knowing his comrades are still on the battlefront. David called him home from the battle, and Uriah knew the right thing would be to be in the battle, be in the mix, being responsible for his role in this in the war. But David brings him home hoping that would cover up his sin. Well, Uriah ends up just staying on the porch of David's palace, never going home. When David realized that, he sent orders back with Uriah to give to Joab, who was the captain of the host of the army. And the orders were, send Uriah to the battlefront where he will certainly be killed. And if you know the story, he was. Tremendous piece. This would be a piece that would be very safe for a sermon set up in any atmosphere, even though the subject matter is a little touchy, but I've worked it very well so that any age could be in the atmosphere and watch this story unfold about when the hardest thing to do is the right thing to do. We have an introduction musical piece to it that gives sort of a foundation behind the monologue. It is a monologue by Uriah in full soldier costume. Tremendous piece. I highly encourage it. I highly encourage someone to learn this monologue. Let your pastor know that you've got it ready, because it would be a very strong, tremendous piece for a sermon setup or sermon follow-up. All right, that was fast and furious, but we've run out of time. I hope that we can help in any way. Please let us know if you want a sample of any scripts. It'd be our pleasure to send them your way. Thank you for your time.